Hello, students, and anyone else who may be watching from home. My name is Zanzolo, also known as Mr. Borges, and today we're going to be creating our very first project in Scratch. So, before we can do that, there's a few things that we did last time that if you weren't here last time or if you haven't done, you need to pause this video and raise your hand. I'm going to tell you what those things are. So, should have already joined Scratch, picked a username and password for yourself, and written those down in your binder reminders so that you're going to always have them. You should have already verified your email address. So we talked about that last time. You should have joined our Google Classroom. So if you weren't here last time or if you didn't do some of those steps, go ahead and pause the video now and raise your hand and I'll come and help you. So for everybody else, we're going to go ahead then and click this link right here, create. So when you click create, it's going to take you to the project editor and we're going to talk about all the stuff right here. So first I'd like to draw your attention to this little window right here. We call this the stage. It's the place where everything happens. It's the place where we want our audience to be looking. So just like in a play or something, right? It's the place where the actors are doing stuff. And then all this other stuff, this is like backstage. This is like the stuff that the audience never sees, maybe doesn't even know about, and that's fine, right? So writing computer programs is a lot like that. We're gonna write computer programs for our users, and our users are gonna be looking right here. This is where everything's gonna be happening. This is what we want them to see. And then all this other stuff, this is stuff that's for us. It's for the computer programmers to make things work. And so the users never have to know about this stuff. They may never see this stuff or care about this stuff, right? It's for us. So this thing right here, this is scratch.cat. So scratch.cat is a sprite, and a sprite is just a thingy. It's a thingy in your project that you could write instructions for. So it could move, it could do things. And we call those sprites, right? And our sprites are all listed down here. Right now I only have one, and there it is. So we're not gonna use scratch.cat in this project. So I'm gonna click the trash can. Right, get rid of scratch.cat, and then we're going to choose a new sprite. And you have some choices here. You can upload a sprite, you can upload an image from the internet, something that you downloaded maybe. We can just be surprised and get some random picture. Looks like I got a pufferfish there. We can draw our own artwork for our sprite if you'd like to do that. Or you can choose a sprite from the Scratch menu. So if we click on that one, I'm just going to pick Abby because she's the very first one there. And I'm not sure how Abby got twisted like that, but I'm going to attempt to untwist her there. We'll talk about that later on. So we've got Abby and we've got the pufferfish, right? Now you definitely could include more sprites if you wanted to. That's up to you. And right, you could just get random things this way sometimes. This is going to be good for us. So, right, our stage has no background right now, right? So in Scratch, we call these things backdrops. And here's where we control the stage. And here's our blank backdrop that we have there. It actually is a thing, and we could write instructions for it to make it change or whatever else. But what we're going to do is get ourselves a new backdrop. So to choose a new backdrop, again, you can upload an image from the internet. You can just say, surprise me, and you just get something. Who knows what you're going to get. You can draw your own, or you can pick something. And since we got that pufferfish in there, I think we're going to pick this, I think there's an underwater, there we go, underwater one. So it can move, make Abby look like she's standing over here on the bottom of the scene. We've got our pufferfish over here. And that's pretty good. So now we're going to write some instructions, right? We're going to actually write the code. So, right, if we want Abby to say hello world, we would select Abby and then we would write our code here. We want the pufferfish to say hello world, so we're going to select the pufferfish and we're going to write our code right here. So next thing that we have to do, and this is an important idea for computer programmers, is we have to decide when is the pufferfish going to say hello world. We could make it so that when the project starts out, when the user clicks the green flag, pufferfish just says hello, right? But that might not be when we want pufferfish to say hello. So we have to decide what event is going to trigger pufferfish saying hello. And that's up to us. As a computer programmer, we choose that event. But it's going to be some event. We go over here to events. we have some choices about events. All these blocks that are round on the top are blocks that can start off other blocks happening. There are event blocks. And so what we can do is we can just pick, we can pick when the green flag is clicked. And then, right, if we want to make pufferfish say hello when the green flag is clicked, that's a looks. It changed the look of the stage. So we go to looks and we say hello. Say hello for 2 seconds. We're going to change that to hello world in a moment. If I click the green flag, pufferfish says hello. But that's not the only event we could have used. We go back to events. I could have made that happen when the space key is pressed. So now, clicking the green flag doesn't do anything at all. When I push space on my keyboard, that's when pufferfish says hello. Or I could have made it controlled by something else, right? When the sprite gets clicked on, right? So now pushing space does nothing. Click the green flag does nothing. But if I click on this pufferfish, right, then it says hello. So as a computer programmer, we're the one who's going to control when things happen. It's up to us. So we're going to have it be when the green flag is clicked, and we don't want pufferfish to just say hello. We want them to say hello world. This is our hello world project. So there we go. So we can test it out. You should always test out your projects. Looks like it's working perfectly, so that's good, right? Now we're going to talk about titles. So what's the title of this project? Right? Untitled. It's a terrible title. It's a terrible title for anything, right? We're not going to write a book that's called Untitled. We're not going to make a movie that's called Untitled. We're not going to have a project that's called Untitled. It's a terrible title. So rename it. Please don't call it something weird. Some of my students just do this kind of stuff like, okay, I named mine. I was too lazy to come up with a name or something. Look, you're never going to remember what that is later. When I'm trying to put all these into the grade book, I'm not going to know what the heck this is supposed to be. If I have to sit around and try to figure out what your project is supposed to be, I might just give up. You might not get the grade you expected. Come on, give your things meaningful titles in life and in Scratch. Okay, this is my Hello World project. I'm just going to call it Hello World. Or you could call it HW. Or you could call it My First Project. Or you could call it something else. But don't, seriously, give something a meaningful name so that you can figure out what it is later. It's a good habit. All right, so that's it for our project. But right now, nobody else in the world can see it because I haven't shared the project. Right, still like under construction. Now, we're about to click the share button, but if you don't have a share button here, please do not just continue with the video. You need to pause the video right now and raise your hand and say, Mr. Borges, I don't have a share button. Can you please help me? And I'll come and help you. Right? Everybody else who has a share button, go ahead and click the share button here. And here's the project page. This is the page that regular old users see. They've got a green flag. They can click it. They can interact with your project, stuff like that. Right? We're just about done, but there's one more thing to talk about, and it's this instructions field right here. So right now it's blank. I know it doesn't look blank. It says, tell people how to use your project. But that's what it says when you haven't put any instructions yet. And it's a problem because a regular old user is going to come along. They're going to see your project. They're not going to know how it works. They're going to see that you didn't put any instructions. They might guess that you just forgot to put the instructions. They're not going to know how your project works. And they may be starting to have try to push the arrow keys, getting the pufferfish to move, getting something to happen, not knowing how your project works. It's a problem. So we're never going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to always and forever, please, you guys, always and forever, we're going to put something in here in the instructions. Now, my project does not need very much instructions, right? But I'm not going to leave this blank anyway. So I'm just going to always type something in here so that the users know I didn't forget to type something in there, right? And so we're always going to do that. I'm going to be checking that. It's going to be part of your grade. I'm going to send you back to put some instructions if you forget, right? Always please put something in there. You can put click the green flag, or this project doesn't need instructions, or you can put just about anything you want in there. But if your project really does have instructions, right, this is the place to put them, but don't leave it blank. All right, so we're actually done with our project now, but we haven't turned it in yet. So what I'd like for you to do is to add this project to our La Contenta Middle School studio. And that's something I'm going to show you how to do in person because all my different classes, each year I teach this class, we use a different studio. So I'm not going to put that part in the video. And we need to turn this into Google Classroom. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the address bar of our web browser right here. We're going to do a triple click on this URL. And then we're going to right click on it and pick copy. So now I've copied this URL to my clipboard. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to Google Classroom. I'm going to find the Hello World assignment. I'm going to click to turn in that assignment as a link. And the link I'm going to create, I'm going to use this URL, right, that I'll paste in there. So the link will point to this location on the internet. And then you'll click turn it in. And that's going to be it, right? So we're going to practice doing that together. I'm going to be walking around the room. Those are all the things we are doing for our first project. So now you're going to create your own Hello World project and then turn it in. So that's it for this time. Next time, we're going to do another project called Epic Dance Party. So we'll see you then.